I did my readability project about the sports rule book, and my selections came from the section about basketball. The first 100-word split had 146 syllables with about 4.5 sentences. And then my second one had 142 syllables with about 3 1/3-ish sentences. And then my third selection had 134 syllables with about 4.5 sentences. Another thing I noticed was there was a lot of numbers. I went ahead and added them up and averaged them, and there was about an average of 4 numbers for every 100 words. So that kind of expands the, like, it wasn't, I don't know how to say this, it wasn't like 100 words, because there was still, some fillers because we couldn't count letters or numbers. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Another thing is that, there's tables in here with more graphs, with a graph of more numbers. And there's some pictures with more numbers, a lot more numbers than you would really think for a PE book, but they all pertain to the book. How I would use it in a classroom, I think I would probably, there's a lot of good information in this book. I really do enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably, if I could get a hold of it, I would use it. I would probably just print out make a printout of what I want the kids to know and highlight, kind of like what I did here, and be like, oh, I want you to read the highlighted areas, take notes, maybe have them refer to the graph and answer some questions on the graph. I think I would really just push the cognitive domain for this book, because I think most of it I would cover in class, like some of the rules and stuff like that, but the court length and stuff like that, you don't need to know that to know how to play the game. It's not all that important, so I think you can pretty much skip over that part of this text, but you need to know some of the defensive stuff. And there's some cool little Easter eggs, basketball first became an Olympic sport in the 36 Berlin Olympics. That's kind of cool. Maybe that's something you'll get in a bar trivia one day. So you're welcome if you get that answer right. How I could make adaptations. Well, I think this book kind of does it for you, because it talks about the dimensions of the court and then it draws it out for you. So that was kind of cool. So if you get someone who's maybe has a reading disability or can't read, it's got that for you. Another thing would be is if you get a word that you don't quite know, you come up to something that's kind of big, you don't really know what it means, you could put in, print it out and then type over it in parentheses, like a synonym or the definition. I also don't have it here, but there's a page where it talks about the players. So maybe you could, again, print it off and edit in and hand it out to the kids, a point guard, what do they do? They dribble the ball down. So then, or you could kind of a DIY skeleton notes. I think there's a lot of good things about this book, and I think you could really adapt it and use it in your classroom.